Okay, so today we're going to be testing out my materials files and normal maps, specular maps, occlusion files, and various parameters that I have used in order to normal map and bump map up everything in Morrowind using the PBR version of MGEXE 10.1. So as you can see, I decided that this is probably metal, whereas everything else is made out of rocks. Um, I've got the armor in, most of the weapons, I think maybe even all the weapons. Uh, Here you can see the shininess of this guy's armor. I mean, it's armor, it's supposed to be shiny. Let's see, there's Keening. Now this version of Keening is, I want to say made by Kane. I do prefer its shape to regular Keening, so I did not bother to make one for the regular Keening. Here we can see how the light reflects off of various things. You see it moving across that. Uh, Whereas here on the stone, it's not so shiny and reflective, but it definitely shows you that the stone is in the light. There it is at its most extreme angle. I don't think that that's actually a problem because if you ever see a white stone wall in the sun, it can shine much brighter than this can. I've recently toned down a lot of the shininess effects that everything was looking shiny. The dirt, the rocks, everything. It's kind of a problem. I was able to discover a way around that by using a roughness parameter, solid green mapping that I put over my specular map to say, hey, this is not this is not metal. It's a rock. However, I do use a metal reflectance for the Fresnel reflectance on it, and the reason I do that is so that when it's in the sun, it shines. When it's not in the sun, it gives a nice shadow. I think that's important. It has allowed me to get much more convincing looks of rocks in the 1.3 update that just hit the Nexus yesterday. So I got to make a video to showcase it, which is why I'm doing this. Um, these used to look like they were filled with pockmarks and holes. I really didn't like that. I went ahead and retooled every aspect of them. This is TX Gray Rock 01, I believe. Now, there are a few problems. I'm going to go ahead and just ask you guys, if you're watching this video, leave a comment. Um, if you know the name of a particular texture, there are two that I just cannot find them anywhere. Now, one is very common here in the Ascadian Isles. Let me see if I can fly over there and locate it. You see it all over the place. It's none of these textures. Here, we'll just go over to this mountain. They're all over the sides of the mountains. That texture. What is the name of that texture? I can't find it anywhere. It's not in any texture packs. Now, as you can see, because I wasn't able to normal map it, it just reflects light at every single angle. And because I couldn't make a specularity map for it, it provides no differentiation between where it shines. And because there's no occlusion map, it doesn't block any of the shininess. So this is like way too shiny. I would love to normal map this texture. There's another one over in the West Gash. I suppose we can go over there and we can take a look. I didn't make this mushroom. This is the mushroom replacer mod. It was the first mod that made me aware of the PBR system. And naturally, when you have really cool looking mushrooms and nothing else is really cool looking, you start wondering, well, what do I have to do to make everything else look really cool? Yep, there's that texture again. You see how shiny it is. I hate that texture. I can't find the name of it. The console is no help for trying to find out the name of a texture you can't figure out. And I don't feel like going and replacing that texture with other textures that I have through the console and creating a mod for that. I would rather just make that texture be the same as these other ones. Like this dirt road, sure, I could probably replace that in the console with nothing but dirt road, but then it gets a lot more complicated and messy. This is a plugin-less style mod. I just provide the texture files and the materials files in MGEXE version 10.1 does the rest. Is that shiny texture again? I hate that texture. Okay. Why am I going down the road? I can just fly over there. So one of the things you can notice as a thing comes in and out is I'm getting a much better representation of the actual colors of things than I was previously. This Westgash rock, for instance, I used to have a real hard problem with it going black and white. That's no longer the case. Let's see if we can find that other problematic texture. Now this one I know hasn't been replaced because it's super low quality. Look at that. What is that? What's the name of that texture? If anybody knows, leave me a comment. Stupid keyboard. Because those are like the only two textures I absolutely cannot locate the name of, and they will complete basically all of the ground textures and rock textures. As you can see, I've got this looking a lot better than it used to. Yeah, like I said, it used to just be black and white. I must have made 40 different versions of that trying to get it to look right, and then I finally discovered it. That dog isn't my dog either. This Nix Hound is a Nix Hound replacer, also works with PBR. As you can see, it looks pretty good. Um, Now, when you first download this one, its material file has it so bright that it shines ridiculously in all directions. I could probably modify this using my parameters files in order to make it less shiny, but I kind of like, there's an aspect to video games where, oh, look, even this tree. Uh, for one thing, you want it to look as realistic as you possibly can. But on the other aspect, it is a video game, and you do need certain things to stand out. It's a real shame if you get attacked from the back by some animal you didn't see because it just didn't show up. Latest thing, this isn't in the 1.3 update. This will be coming later. I had previously replaced all of the thatch roofing with the shack thatch roofing because it's a much better texture that I have for that, and it looks better. This is kind of a garbled mess, but at least it gives you the impression of what it really is, so I'm fine with that. Another thing in the 1.3 update is the shingles. As you can see, the shingles no longer shine like pieces of glass. Uh, as it turned out, I was able to tone them down, and I realized that the top edge is not the same as the shingles, which is why that was shining even after I had fixed the shingles up to be much less shiny than that. For a while, I was using a mesh and texture replacer for these guys, but their wings on that one looked more like they were made out of netch leather, and so I decided that I'd go back with the original because I kind of like the scrotumy, veiny covered wings. Uh, I don't know. Naked Nord. Um, as you can see, I have put better bodies in to the thing. You can see how his chest is casting more realistic looking shadows. His face, not so much in this angle. I don't want to get down any lower. There's no need to see some Nord hanging brain in my video. Let's see, West Gash. I think the West Gash is probably my favorite place. I definitely have to recommend going with Vert's Leafy West Gash. For one thing, it provides the West Gash with much needed vegetation, seeing as how there are ashlands in the Mulligamar region and all of that stuff, which don't have. Oh, hey, there's a Gar. So I put all this stuff on the Gar. I think he looks pretty good. Let's see what over encumbered. Drink me up a rad romper. Let's see here. What else can we look at? I believe that. Shut up! I'm making a video. I believe most of this stuff is done. There's a few little small things. This tree in here, I did not bother de-shining its trunk because I kind of want to be able to see it. To me, it reminds me of a Bob Ross painting, how the trunk is just white on one side. These are pretty good looking gars. Oh, and I don't have to worry about killing these gars. These are friendly gars? Yeah, they are. Okay. Now, let's head over to the Ashlands region. I did leave the Ashlands region the same as it was in the version 1.2. It is not de-shinied. I kind of like the idea that the ashes are reflective of light to a certain degree. Um, it does do that one weird thing, though, where it darkens as it gets closer to you instead of lightening up. So maybe I will have to go through and change it. Leave a comment. Let me know if you think that this needs changing. I should also let you know that I really changed a lot of the color from the albedo files on these. I may have to change them back or tone down what I've got going on, but fire fern, let's see, get a good look at this. See, still a little shiny, but it's volcanic ash and blasted wasteland, which I feel should have a lot of glass in the soil and things like that. However, I did in the 1.3 version that just released yesterday on the Nexus. Go there, take a look. um, I fixed up these rocks so that they have a more uniform look and match the other rocks a lot better. I don't know whether people like the idea of the silt striders having such a shiny carapace, but I like it because they're a flea. I mean, essentially, it's a giant flea. That's what it's designed after. And every flea I've ever seen had a really shiny carapace. Maybe that's because I just burn them with a lighter and pull them off my leg, but still, okay. This guy, he's so small it's hard to tell. I did do him. Um, let me see. I don't really want to get into Red Mountain, although I'm certain that I have got all those things looking correct. Let's see here. There are really only like 4 or 5 Red Mountain textures. There's the white rock, the gray rock, rock 1, 2, rock 1 and rock 2 as well. Uh-oh, what was that? Oh, okay, never mind. It's just blue light from the Ghost Gate. Okay, here we are in Red Mountain. As you can see, I'm using the really big Red Mountain mod. I actually really enjoy that. How many of these guys are following me? Is that all of them? Okay, just showing off some of this stuff. Floating tree. Hmm. Yeah, that's from the Red Mountain mod. I don't believe you're ever supposed to be able to notice that unless, of course, you're flying. Rest of it looks really good. I really enjoy the verticality of it. I like the way that Red Mountain looks from a distance. Ah, an Ogrim. You got to check this guy out. I put a lot of work on the Ogrim. Hold up. Come over here. Follow me. Get in the light. He's too fat. Can't get in the light. Hey, hold up. There's something wrong with him. He's got some missing texture under his armpits. You see some bright pink in there? It's oh yeah, he'll kill me. Let's see. What is that? What's going on under his arms? Where's this pink coming from? Okay, I think that I can get this guy fixed. Oh, he killed me. Well, that seems like as good a place as any to end the video. I'm gonna go try and fix that Ogrim. Uh, Go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's anything you saw that looked out of the ordinary or just wrong. It's something I could probably fix. Thanks for watching and have a great day.